before you went to pick up this refrigerator and agreed to purchase this refrigerator, did you take measurements of the... No! That's a yes or no question.
She said
No. That's a yes or no. Did you take measurements?
The space that I have is a standard size.
He's been a problem child since he's a young child. He's always been truant. He dropped out of high school. He had to get his GED. He's always had an anger management problem.
Well, nothing wrong with getting your GED,
no,
but if you're dealing with...
But he was just so ornery and disrespectful and did everything opposite since he was younger.
This is the case of Lipton versus Winnett. Mr. Lipton, you are suing Ms. Winnett for $3,000 for medical bills and a security deposit you say she should pay because of the condition of her home. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Please explain the situation to the court.
In her house, she has an air conditioning unit which has been broken for a month and a half. I begged her to fix this unit. She said it was my responsibility to fix it. She asked me to pay $2,000 to fix this unit, which I do not have. I passed out in her house, which was at the time that I passed out 90 degrees inside the house.
How long have you been living in the home?
I've been living there since I was 4 years old.
Oh. So this is your mother?
She's my foster mother. She's
your foster mother. Yeah. Okay. And so you've been living there since you were 4 years old. You live in what state?
Arizona.
All right. You said you were paying rent?
Yes. As soon as I turned 18, she started having me pay rent, even though I was still in school. And she had me pay for $400 a month to live in the room that I had lived in since I was a kid.
How many children in the house?
Currently, there are 3 plus me.
All right, Ms. Winnett, so you are a foster mother?
Correct, Your Honor. And
why are you so emotional already?
Because this breaks my heart. I'm not able to have children. That's been one of my dreams since I could remember. So when I was able to have foster children, Floyd is one of the first children I took into my home, and I love and adore him with all of my heart.
The fact that you all are standing on opposite sides of the courtroom upsets you?
It does upset me, not only because of all that I've done for him, but it also puts my other foster children in jeopardy.
Okay. Mr. Lipton, you're saying that you were paying rent, you were living in the home in Arizona, it was very hot, and the air conditioning broke?
That's correct. The air conditioning had been broken for quite some time.
Not quite some time.
How long is quite some time in your estimation? And I will let you respond.
Yes, sir.
For almost a month and a half, Your Honor.
Okay, so about 45 days.
That's correct.
And then what happened on the day that you passed out?
So I had a job because I had to pay her rent. I had to pay the utilities for the house, so I was working as hard as I could. I'm working as a deckhand out of power plants. I was out there for a 9-hour shift that day. It was about 100.
This is where the case becomes much more serious. Floyd says the extreme heat inside the house caused him to collapse. But proving negligence takes more than telling a heartbreaking story. The court needs evidence linking the injury to legal responsibility. That's the biggest challenge for Floyd's lawsuit. One missing piece of proof could change everything.
110 degrees. It's Arizona. It's quite hot, as you said, Your Honor. I got home and the thermostat read 90 degrees. I snapped. I got angry. I was yelling at Penn. I said some things that I regret.
He cursed me out.
I said some things that I regret, but I also believe I spoke
things
truth.
Like what?
I called her greedy. I said she was using me and the other foster children as cash cows. She kept saying I was lucky to be there, and if I didn't want to be there, well, I should just move out. I was trying to move out. It was a $700 security deposit that I needed to pay that I did not have the money to pay. I lost it. I got out of control, and I got so hot that I passed out. And I woke up in the ER and I realized that I'm going to have to pay for this too now because she's not going to help me out.
So it was a heated argument, literally and figuratively.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Winnett, please respond to the testimony.
Definitely. I have a special needs foster child as well who's in a wheelchair, and right when the air conditioning unit broke, my vehicle all broke as well. and I need that second vehicle, which is a van, fixed at all times because it carries his wheelchair. So he's painting me out to be this person, this money-hungry person. He called me every name in the book. He said that I only wanted him for, and that.
Now we finally hear Ms. Wynette's side of the story. She says fixing the van for a special needs foster child came first. That left no money to repair the air conditioner immediately. It's a difficult choice no parent wants to make. This case is no longer about money alone. It's about priorities, sacrifice, and responsibility.
And the other children for money called me a greedy SOB. He said that he wasn't Annie. He gives a false narrative that I have him doing chores like
Annie,
Cinderella.
like little orphan Annie.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So it really, you all went there.
I didn't go there. He goes there.
To get the air conditioning fixed.
As
Why?
I said before, I fixed my vehicle that I have to take my other son back and forth to
So
the
you had to
doctor.
make a choice with expenses between the vehicle or the air right now.
Correct. And
All right.
when I got 4 different estimates, and the lowest estimate, I just asked him to help chip in, since I believe since he runs so many different utilities, he'll have the oven and different things on, but then we'll have the air on. He'll
All right.
have. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I've heard enough. I
Notice
want to
how
go back to
emotional
Mr. Lipton because I want to give him a chance to respond, and I want him to tell the court why he feels like he should be awarded $3,000. You say you had medical bills after you had to go to the hospital, and you also wanted your security deposit for a new apartment. You want Ms. Wynette to pay that.
That is correct.
And why is that, sir? I'd like you to explain.
Because I was paying, like I said, I was paying utilities on the house. I was paying often for her groceries, and she claims that I wasn't paying for everyone's groceries, but most of the time I was.
He did that one time, Your Honor. One time he had to pay for a case of Insure.
It was
he also
more than one time, Your
drinks
Honor.
the Insure that's not for him because he was trying to gain weight.
That happened
He's
one time.
always been a problem child since he's a young child. He's always been truant. He dropped out of high school. He had to get his GED. He's always had an anger management problem.
Well, nothing wrong with getting your GED,
no,
but if you're
dealing
with
but he was just so ornery and disrespectful and did everything opposite since he was younger. He grew up, I hate to say it, but his mom was on heroin and crack, and which had a bad effect on his behavior.
at the time of her pregnancy with him.
At the time of her pregnancy.
Okay.
And he was around that influence, and I was the one who took him in. So for him to do this to me and talk so negatively and call me such bad names.
Here Floyd lays out his damages, medical bills from his visit, plus $700 he says he needs for a new apartment security deposit, legally. This is where things get tricky. Courts don't automatically order parents, foster or otherwise, to pay for an adult child's new living arrangements. Medical bills could potentially be argued if neglect can be proven, but a security deposit, that's a personal expense, not a legal obligation. Floyd might be overreaching here, and that could weaken his entire case.
I'm just dumbfounded, and now you're suing me?
All right.
May I please have a chance to defend myself?
I'm going to give you that chance, and I'd like you to do that because I'd like you to answer the question about why do you think Ms. Wynette should pay your medical expenses and give you the money for a security deposit on a new apartment?
Well, she kept telling me that I was lucky to even be there, and if I didn't want to be there, I should move out. I was trying to do that.
Am I wrong?
I was trying to do that. I was working at the power plant day in and day out. I was making about $12,000.
Okay, I want you to take a minute and take a breath because you're working yourself up.
I'm sorry.
And then when you get worked up, I get worked up, and you don't want me worked up.
Understood,
So,
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Take yourself a breath and tell me what's going on.
I was making about $1,200 a month, and with the utilities on the house, with the repairs to the car, with the repairs to the air conditioning, with the groceries and all that, I was paying per month, I was paying around $800 a month. I did not have the money for security.
Judge Lake now shifts the focus to adulthood. At 18, Floyd is legally responsible for many of his own expenses. The law doesn't award damages based only on hardship. Medical bills require proof that someone else caused the injury. The same applies to his apartment security deposit. The courtroom follows legal facts, not personal feelings.
Have the money for security deposit on a new apartment. The new apartment that I was looking at, the security deposit was $700, and then I had to pay $700 a month. I did not have the money to pay that, to move out of the house that she was telling me that I
Hold
needed.
on.
This moment's
You are 18 years old. You are an adult. You are in the situation that many of us, especially at your age, in our 20s, even 30s, and beyond, have found ourselves in. I think when Ms. Winnett said to you, "You're lucky to be here," I don't believe she said it to mean as a foster child, you're lucky to live here. I think she meant you're lucky to be here as an 18-year-old young man and literally pay far less than you would be paying to live on your own. I understand why you would interpret what she said as you feeling like she didn't want you there. However, at 18 years old, if you decide you'd like to move out because you don't like the condition of the air, but if she has to choose between...
Judge Lake rules in favor of Ms. Winnett and dismisses Floyd's claim. The court finds no legal basis to award medical bills or moving costs. This case reminds us that sympathy doesn't always create liability. Sometimes adulthood comes with difficult financial realities. But every courtroom decision teaches an important legal lesson.
between a vehicle to get a special needs child back and forth to appointments and air conditioning, you're gonna go with the vehicle. It's just that simple. And everybody gonna have to get a fan, jump in the pool, or figure out what they're gonna do to stay cool. And one thing they can't do is get so angry that they work themselves up into a tantrum, and that is exactly what you did. You worked yourself up and made yourself sick, and that is not her responsibility to pay your medical bills or get you an apartment and pay the security deposit. At 18 years old, you have to figure out how to budget your money, get a second job, or do what you need to do to be able to move on. Because the only way to make sure your living conditions are exactly what you want when you want it is to have your own place. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
And here
Suing Mr. Jackson, I should say, for $750 for the remaining costs owed on a refrigerator you sold him. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Tell the court what happened.
A couple of months ago, my ex-husband passed and left me and inherit some items. Some were new, some were used. And so I had extra items about the house. The defendant is good friends with my ex-husband who recently passed away. I reached out to him to see if, he could use some of the extra items that I had inherited. If he wanted to buy some before I placed them on an online site for sale. And he said he needed a refrigerator and some other things. And I said, hey, I have a refrigerator that was left to me and I'd be willing to sell it to you. He let me know that he was going to rent a truck and come and pick up the refrigerator, which he did. So I thought everything was fine at the time of...
What did you agree on would be the price?
We agreed that he would pay me $1,250 for the refrigerator, which was originally purchased at $2,300.
Mr. Jackson, did you agree to purchase the refrigerator for $1,250?
Your Honor, I agreed and I made 2 payments of $250. She received $500
All right, so
money.
she received $500 of the dollars. Do you have a contract or text exchange or email exchange?
We spoke via text mostly.
Where are the text messages?
Your Honor, I have 2 text messages.
Let me see that, please.
I picked this refrigerator up thinking it would fit. I mean, she led me to believe that it would fit. I was very busy at work.
Let's talk about that.
I never led him to believe anything.
So, Mr. Jackson, you've never seen the fridge that you were going to purchase?
This is the reason why we had a picture taken. I'd
like to see the picture.
From the picture, I've seen from the picture that, this may not fit. So I asked her the measurements. The measurement she gave me was...
Your Honor, I never gave him any measurements. I explained to him that it was his due diligence to come and measure the refrigerator and measure his space.
At work.
I don't live in his home. How can I measure his space and say whether or not the refrigerator fits?
Mr. Jackson, before you went to pick up this refrigerator and agreed to purchase this refrigerator, did you take measurements
She
of the
said
no?
that
That's a yes or no question.
she said
No,
that.
no. That's a yes or no. Did
It's-
you
I mean,
take
The
measurements?
space that I have is a standard size.
Did you measure it?
I did not measure. I didn't
I am
have
so
anything.
glad you answered that question because you had one more time and I was going to have Sean escort you right out of here because you're not going to worry me today. A text or an email that shows this court that Ms. Jennings said to you that this is a standard size refrigerator and I know it's going to fit.
I do not.
Thank you. So, Ms. Jennings, did he ask you for the measurements?
No, Your Honor,
The dimensions listed are that it's about 30 to 36 inches wide, 6.5 to 7 feet tall, and 29 to 35 inches deep. When you discovered the fridge didn't fit, what did you do?
I tried to give it back to her. She would not take it back.
So where's the refrigerator now?
Well, I had to sell it. I had to do something with it.
How much did you sell it for?
I sold it for $1,500.
Oh, so you all paid her $500. You sold the refrigerator for $1,500. That's a $250 profit. This is on you, Mr. Jackson. You sold the refrigerator for $1,500. You need to pay her $750. You owe her and learn the lesson for the next time you buy a refrigerator. Judgment for the plaintiff.